Hey everybody, this is my old shop. It's what I did all my work out of as a kid. My dad always uses a shop and it's a mess. It's worse than the other one was. But this bench, you can see it's got a steel plate mounted on top, half of it. And at the end of that steel plate is this big old Colombian vise. Story on this: my dad bought it at an estate sale, same place he bought the old B. It works pretty good. It was broken when he got it. I'm here to pull, if I can get that pin out. This top jaw spins. For what? I'm not real sure. But if you pull that top jaw all the way out, you can see it was broken when he bought it. And the guy that lives through the cornfield from us, through the mile, a little friend of his, he was a machinist, and he drilled and tapped and fixed it, put it all back together. And it's been working ever since. But I'm going to take it off of this bench and clean it up and move it out to my other barn. I put it on the bench out there because it's really the only thing I ever come over here for. So just have everything in one spot. And if I can, I'm going to try to take that steel plate with it. Clear this bench off good enough to get that steel plate off of there. And we might go ahead and mount that steel plate underneath of it on the other bench too. But I'm not sure. It's like 1/4 inch thick, so I'm not sure I'll be able to move that by myself. I'll update you when I get it over there. Well, just stopped to take a little break. Got the vise over here. And it's actually sitting on the plate that was on the bench, so it's over here. Gonna clean them up. I already started cleaning up a wire brush on the base of the anvil, the swivel base. And it's coming along pretty good. Like I said, this thing was in service. It was in use. Nothing mechanically wrong with it, except the handle is bent a little bit, but you just get used to that. I don't have a press to bend it back. You can maybe get a little closer look at that piece that's been fixed. I don't plan on really taking out any of the casting marks or anything like that. I probably will get a flap wheel and clean up the jaws a little bit, just straighten them out a little bit. But that's my progress. Alright, I don't know if it's too bright out here to see, but got the vise all put back together, cleaned up. I gave it a couple coats of hammer finished Rust-Oleum just to kind of keep it coated. The jaws, I did take a flap wheel and kind of clean up those jaws a little bit. I didn't go crazy with it because there's no teeth in the jaws. That's the only reason I did it, and they were pretty beat up. So once it's dried, I'm gonna get it in the barn. The piece of steel I hit with that's the bottom that'll actually be the side facing the bench, and I just hit it with a wire wheel to knock the scaly rust and everything off of it. Wiped it down. So when this is dry, I'll get it in the barn, flip this over, and get to work on the other side that'll be facing up. I'm gonna try to get that all cleaned up, and then we'll show you the finished product. Alright, it's a day or two later. I got the vise mounted down, got the steel plate mounted down. Come over here and see. I have got some Torx bit countersunk screws, fit kind of pretty much flush. That's how it was mounted down before, but with flatheads, and I really can't stand flathead screws. That's what it was mounted down with before, and I happen to have some Torx ones laying around that were just long enough to go through. Put a nut on the bottom. So got the steel plate down, cleaned it up, dropped it on my leg, and I got a pretty damn good golf ball or softball size deep purple bruise on my leg right now. Then I got the vise cleaned up, just threw a coat of paint on it just to protect it a little bit. Nothing, I didn't want to go flashy with it or anything, but then I got bolts, one this size on either side. This is the one that was in the back, and the back mounting hole back here. I'm gonna have to get something smaller. I don't know how, because this is the same plate, the same holes. This was mounted through before in the same bolts, and for some reason it doesn't line up quite right. So I'm gonna have to find a smaller bolt that'll fit through there, past that plate, and put a nut on the bottom of it, but that won't be a big deal. I mean, it's already super sturdy. And there's the pin over here. I really like this style with this pin that you just pull up. It's spring loaded, and then when you hit the next spot, it drops. I really like that. It'll spin 360 like that, versus the tighten, loosen wing nut thing over here, like one of these over here. I much prefer this. You see, even though that handle's bent a little bit, one finger and it comes out. Opens up pretty wide. It's a 5.5 inch jaw. I took the flap disc and just kind of cleaned the face of those jaws up a little bit, and the top of them here, when they're flush, I had them together, just kind of decked it a little bit. And yeah, so that's my vise. Got it mounted. I do want to get that third bolt in there just so I don't run the risk of breaking an ear off, a mounting ear, because this thing is super old. It goes in a little tighter than it comes out. It comes out a little easier. I got some other tools over there on the bench that I've been working on kind of cleaning up a little bit. And this is going to go to my gunsmithing room. This little anvil, I took the flap disc and kind of cleaned the surface of it up. And you can see it's pretty shiny, not perfect. It's been dinged up. Gave it a little quick spray job with the black as well. That's going up there. The neat thing about this is it's been in the family forever. If you look, it says Rowe Foundry. And on the other side, Martinsville, Illinois. Somewhere in here. It's stamped in, you can't hardly see it. But it has a date on it, January of '61, and my dad's uncle, his name on it. His uncle worked in the Rowe Foundry, and he actually made this and brought it home. It's not a real big anvil. It's just it's probably 20 pounds-ish, 15, 20 pounds. So that'll go up there just for small, light projects. I don't want to beat it up too bad. And then this kind of got me started. If you don't know what this is a it was a freebie screwdriver. You can see that hollow grind on that. These would come with Smith & Wesson revolvers. Back in the day, the box would always have this little screwdriver in there. It's for taking the side plate off. And I found it in a box of tools. And me being a gun guy, especially a revolver guy, I thought it was really cool. I want to clean it up and polish that aluminum handle. And I got the shank pretty well cleaned up now. And then I'm going to polish that handle out, take that up to my gunsmithing room. And then I've got some other punches and chisels and cutters and stuff over here. Some screwdrivers and whatnot that I want to kind of clean up. Or maybe take up there, maybe use out here. These will be used out here. Screwdrivers, some of them might go to the house. I might do some videos on those here sometime. Thanks for watching the Vice Project.